Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is...
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins now to throw on first down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards. Right.
Who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. You might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. On second down, Cook. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Third and long for Cousins. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage and taken down. And a penalty flag is going to come out on top of it. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. On second down, here's Rodgers. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Rodgers now on first down. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll bring it up 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. They 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
319, 258.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. It's Person. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
Good solid gain on 1st down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a solid run down inside the 30. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. A give to Jones. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dip.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
The Detroit Expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Second down, Cousins. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. To throw, Cousins. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. Well, that didn't take very long. You mentioned you have to keep him under wraps. Avoid the big play is what you said, and here he makes one in the first quarter.
Yeah, you can't let this become a habit. Otherwise, you know what will happen? They'll flat out take over this game.
Now Jones, and he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On play action, Rodgers steps away to his left. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And his throw here is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. Powerful running. Being chased out left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Person. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
So now they assess a 3rd and long, and that holding call might have knocked him out of field goal range, at least for the moment. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Danielle Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
first down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And here comes throw number one for the backup QB. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook, and Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Clay Matthews coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Caught on the right side by Adams. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get one step. If you're within one step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that looks like an extra step was involved.
Now a play fake here on first down. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Runs through the contact.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards there helps, but they're still stuck now. Third and long coming up.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to make it fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Rodgers to throw on second down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Holding offense.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Look at the spin.
Balance.
It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
And still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll look to throw here on first down. The left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
319!
Back to throw here. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Green, 39!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Hey, looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they? When they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown. And this one, they help force another incompletion.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Man open left side, it's Williams. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Rodgers now operating from the gun. He's got a man. It's Williams. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Rodgers now on first down. Flushed out right. And he slides to avoid the hit. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. First down now, but that clock rolling. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Flush to his right. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And Crosby puts it through. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with a Viking. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Throwing now is Rodgers. Caught left side, Williams. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there. Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. He finds Randall Cobb on the completion. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Rodgers to throw once more. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And again, it's Rodgers. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Rodgers now to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll go down at the 28. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. He'll buy some time right. And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Aaron Jones, that time. And it's third down.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, tried to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right there.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
One universal in football. When it's a kicking situation, or you're kicking a field goal, an extra point, you're punting, you never want to hear a second thud. That means the block has occurred. Imagine being the guys on the bench right now, the defensive unit. They thought they were going to get a cushion when they went back out on the field. That's no longer there.
They had the chance to take a second-half lead, but the special teams unit, they said, not on our watch. And down he goes just beyond the 35, and that pretty move got him some extra space to run. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll drop the throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's able to find Diggs. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Evades him at the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding, offense.
So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
A give. This is Cook. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The kick by Carlson is good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Williams loses the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Again, it's Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third. The Vikings on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Gone.
On play action, they'll throw. He sets to fire deep. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That goes for a gain of 31. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And just as they thought they might be able to take that across and get the lead, a big red zone turnover.
I know that I am defense-centric, and I want to give them a whole lot of credit, but I just can't believe after that drive, in that position, ball security paramount, they turned the ball over. Terrible.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Going deep for Diggs. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. Oh, he stays up. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Leopard. Set. 319.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and that'll bring up second down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. And now another one thrown incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Brad Wing now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
Get reset. Hey, easy. Strong right.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Looking deep for Adams. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Might be. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Oftentimes when you give up a touchdown, it's really a deflation for your entire unit. And the special teams crew, when they run out there, they still feel it, and maybe they don't go after it so much. Instead, they gave great effort there, blocked the extra point, and really gave them a lift after giving up the score.
Yeah, gave up the touchdown, lost the lead, but a nice job to get in there and block it. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Left side caught by Diggs. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. A punter wing is on as he sends this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Boy, tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties.
Automatic first down.
Yeah, we know the emotion emotions are running high, the tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Hey, 626. Hey, 626.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They face a 2nd down, but they are in field goal range. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Crosby on now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
Now you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Looking to throw. And Diggs has it. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year. the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Get reset. Hey, easy.
Again, it's Jones. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Hey, let's go. Come on.
Now Rodgers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They have the football. They're looking good, but the lead is just 2. So any mistake in a field goal can beat you. They got to be careful.
And that's where it gets difficult, because you don't want that to leak into your thinking. You want to play like, hey, we've got the advantage. We can close this out. Don't play from fear, and they can win this game.
See if they can play fear-free and hang on.
That's fine. Yeah.
The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done.
Let's go.
How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Packers, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis.